Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I'm going to be chatting about my least favorite packaging in my makeup collection. I did a video recently where I talked about my favorite pieces of packaging. These are my least favorite. Very nitpicky things, very petty. But I thought it might be fun to talk about. Just like the last video, these are specifically the things that I own, not just makeup in general. These are what I have in my collection that I'm not too fond of just because of the packaging. Before we get into it though, I did want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creative and curious people to explore existing passions or maybe dive into something new. Skillshare is a great place to explore your creativity, whether you are just trying to dive into a new hobby or if you're a freelancer, there are so many classes for you. It's a great place to invest in yourself and your personal growth. I love using the app to navigate. There are so many classes on here, everything from photography, videography, drawing, plants, cooking, or my favorites are typically the self-discovery, self-motivation, self-care, productivity. That is my favorite realm, and the class that I've been loving lately is Silence and Curiosity, a guide to self-reflection and self-discovery by Stephanie Namey. Her class was just very reinvigorating, I would say. She's very much talking about her journey into simply just learning how to be silent and curious to help self-reflect and reinvent herself and just really connect with herself more to aid in her own personal growth. She gave a lot of helpful tips on how to truly just be silent and reflect, and some exercises on different ways to look within yourself and explore some self-discovery. I really liked this class. I found it very motivating and very helpful. Skillshare has new premium classes launching every week, and it is ad-free, so you can continue learning and exploring at your heart's content. The entire catalog also has subtitles in French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. You're gonna have so much fun exploring on Skillshare, whether you are just dabbling in something new, if you're a pro, a beginner, there is something for everyone. I'm so excited for you to start enjoying it. The first 1,000 of you to click the link in my description box or use my code battybean will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare's membership. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for partnering with me on this portion of the video. I've really enjoyed working with Skillshare for the last, I want to say, year or so. It's such a great community, it's such a great platform, and I really enjoy exploring all of the different classes that they have to offer. So now, back to the makeup. We are going to get into my least favorite packaging. We are going to just sit here and be petty for a little bit. I think it's funny, and I'm excited to talk about these with you. Before we get into it though, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And let me just give you my accessory details. These earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy. This is the Sammy bun from insert name here. You can use my code battybean for 10% off. It's not affiliated, it's just for you to save money. And I think this choker is from Raven Beads, but I'm not entirely sure because it's very old. And I always get questions on this t-shirt when I wear it. It is from TeePublic. All right, let's just dive in and be petty for a little bit. Let's just go in the order that I do my makeup. I think that sounds pretty good. It's funny because some of these products, I actually love the product itself. I just wish the packaging was different. So the first thing I do are my brows, and both of my favorite clear brow gels, like my end-all be-all of brow gels, I don't like the packaging very much. First being my NYX The Brow Glue. Such a phenomenal product, but the thing is, it gets so nasty after you've used it a bit. Do you see how nasty and like brown that is? It's supposed to be clear. It's just from like having brow product in and then you cover it with the clear brow gel and then dip the spoolie back in. And obviously that's just gonna happen with something that has a wand connected to it. Maybe we could have just tinted the packaging so we don't have to see how nasty it gets. You know, that's my gripe. And then also my e.l.f. Brow Lift. I love this. I actually might like this more than my brow glue from NYX. And the thing is, it's amazing. This one doesn't even get nasty because I use a separate spoolie for this and it's a whole thing. Like I'm not like re-dipping it every single time, you know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm getting low and it's really hard to stick my spoolie in there now that it's getting so low. And this is the spoolie that it came with, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's just getting to the point where it's getting really hard to like get the product out. I feel like I'm gonna need like a bent brush just to use this once it gets really, really low. So that's my main gripe. I know that's so petty, but like, I wish the packaging could just be slightly different. Maybe if it was more like cylindrical so I could dip it in more. It's just, once it gets real, real low, it's gonna be really tough to get all of it out. Let's see, concealer. I really like the concealer itself. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it a lot the last few months. But my Milk Makeup Sunshine Oil Concealer, this is not my favorite packaging. For one, it gets nasty. Like, this is so dirty. And it has this roller ball thing. So you click the little thing at the bottom and the product comes up and you do the roller ball. I just don't love that. I wish it was just a wand that you just dipped in like normal concealers. It just gets gross, and then that's why the cap gets so nasty, because there's just product residue all over it. It's not the most visually pleasing product. I do love the formula, but the packaging, not my favorite, just gotta say. Next up, setting powder. This is a brand new one actually, because I will show you in a second why I can't hold my currently used one, but my NYX High Glass Finishing Powder, favorite powder of all time. For like my perimeters, I use a loose powder for my under eyes, but for the perimeters of my face, I love this. It is my favorite. I've been obsessed with it for years. And for the most part, I don't mind the packaging, but the thing is, when it starts to get a little low, every time it cracks and crumbles, and all I can do is blame the packaging, because I'm not even like smashing it around. I'm very gentle with it. It just gets to the point where, like, I don't know, it's like the packaging can't sustain it long term. So then I'm stuck with like pieces of powder, and I still use it until it's gone. But I feel like that has to be a packaging error. Maybe it's a little bit more on the formula too, that it's not able to hold together, but I feel like the formula is so perfect. They just need a better packaging situation so it can stay together better. Because I have had powders when it gets like really, really, really low that it kind of breaks because there's nothing for it to really hold on to. This breaks when there's still a solid layer on the bottom. There's not even a whole lot of pan or anything, and it just disintegrates. So very fragile. The packaging does not try to save its life, that's for sure. Moving on to blush. This is so petty, and it's totally like, I feel like it's on me, but it's a little bit on the packaging. The e.l.f. Putty Blushes. The packaging is really annoying for this, because for the longest time, I was convinced that the shade name was not written on here. Like, I even eventually wrote them all with Sharpie on the back, and I'm so glad I did that, because what it is, I don't even know if you'll really be able to tell. So there's this label, and it's very, very clear. It's hard to read it. And the name of the shade is like the teeniest letters amidst all of the like, where it's distributed, the weight, like it's in the middle of all of that. It's just like very lightly printed in like almost invisible ink. I know that is so petty, but I cannot stand that. I wish it was just printed on it more legibly. You know, I wonder if my Putty Bronzer is the same way. You know what? They made this one better. Let me show you. See, it's more obvious where it is. It's still a little bit invisible ink, but the ink is a little bit more legible. And it's by itself. You can actually read it better. Maybe they've updated that with these, because it is just a label at the end of the day. They totally might be reprinting the label different. But the OG label, so annoying. I was literally convinced that the name just wasn't on it at all. So that's why I wrote them with Sharpie. And I still stand by that. Moving on to the eyes, we are breezing through this. I really don't have too many things in my collection that I like am that nitpicky about the packaging, but there are just certain things that just like grind my gears just a little bit. Okay, so an eyeshadow primer that I actually enjoy. I don't wear it all the time, but I do use it from time to time and I do enjoy it. It's the KVD Beauty Shake Primer. It's just annoying. It's like separated like watery stuff and then more of like a bubbly sensation at the bottom, and you have to shake it or else you're not gonna get the right consistency. Like, it's kind of cool. I kind of feel like a chemist mixing together my own product. And then it has this little button on the bottom, so you push it and then like the drop comes out and then you can like rub it on your eyes. It's just kind of like a lot of steps just to put on an eye primer. I think that's honestly why I don't reach for this one too often, because I actually do really enjoy it. I don't know why I'm showing you like you can see anything. But yeah, I actually do enjoy the product itself. I think my eyeshadows blend really nicely. They look nice and pigmented. I never have issues with like, I don't know, it's skipping or getting chunky because it's such a thin formula. It takes a little more work than, you know, just taking my like Milk Hydro Grip and I just unscrew it, the wand, we're good to go. So yeah. I know that's petty, but you know what? That's what this whole video is petty. Eyeshadow palettes. I only have a couple. And again, they're not that big of a deal, but it's just a little something. So Kaleidos, formerly known as Mousse Beauty, their first palette was the Impressionism. Sleek, wonderful, amazing, your standard palette, so to speak. After that, they pretty much exclusively launched these bulky ones. I don't like the bulky version. They did just launch their new Art Nouveau palette, and it is also sleek and slim like this, and I'm so happy because so many of their palettes are so thick, and it's just annoying. Like, 2 of their palettes take up the same space that one of these does. So I hope they stick with the skinny packaging. I don't like the boxy packaging as much, especially because, like, it's just unnecessary. Like, we have all this extra room. We could just not do the bulky packaging and I'd be thrilled. Next are a couple from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics, and I do really like the formula on the inside of both of these. I think the color stories are cute, and the packaging themselves is kind of cute. It's just the way they're shaped that just doesn't do it for me. So it's this Call Me palette and this Poison Bottle palette. Love the aesthetic. I love the spooky spring vibes with ghost face here. I love the spooky Poison Bottle. There's 2 reasons I don't love these. One being it's an awkward shape. Like, this is not gonna sit on a shelf in a nice way, especially, oops, it's already like separating because it's a magnet. I will get to that. The phone just kind of hangs off the side, like it doesn't even fit there. So this is just gonna be really annoying to place on a shelf, you know? And like, same with this one. It's awkward, it's tall. It's not just gonna seamlessly flow in with the rest of my palettes. And then both of these are magnetic, which you'd think that's fine, but something about the magnet on both of these, it's a very weak magnet, you know? It doesn't really hold on very great, especially this one. This one's really picky. So it's just a little bit of an annoyance. It's not the end of the world. I do like the palettes themselves. I think like the color stories are super cute and all, but it's just a little annoying. That's it. And I do just want to compare really quick. I just got this from Reza Beauty recently. I'll probably already have a video on my Instagram or something by the time this video goes up. It's the Sweet Tragedy. It's a coffin shape, but I feel like it's palette size. Like, it's not like that obnoxiously big, you know? And it's slim, it's sleek, it has like straight edges for me to just place it on a shelf. And this also is a magnet, but it doesn't fall apart. It actually like adheres really, really nicely. So it's not that it's a magnet and it's not that it's a funky shape. It's just the combination of the magnet not being totally great on the Spoiled Lips palettes and also the shapes just being a little bit extra awkward. You know, that is what it is. Okay, this one. This is my Danessa Myricks Color Fix. This is in the shade Milky Way specifically. I don't know if it's a formula thing or a packaging thing or the combination of both, but when I go little too long in between using this, which to be fair, I don't use this very often. I probably grab it once every like maybe month and a half. It's not something I use regularly. If I go too long, the first squeeze, I'm scared to do it today, but the first squeeze after a long time, it's like it gets crusted and then it just shoots out. Like, I've probably lost a good amount of product in this just from that. I'm not gonna squeeze it today because I don't want to make a mess, but if you watched my glitter collection and declutter video, you didn't see it, but you heard it because I go to swatch it and it just shoots all over my wall. It was a lot. So again, I don't quite know if that's the packaging to blame or the formula or a mixture of both. Something like this I honestly kind of wish was just like a wand that you stuck in and like you could grab the amount that you want. Because even like if I'm doing like linery stuff like I tend to do with this, I'll just use a little liner brush. I can still just take it off the wand. Like I pull the wand out and I dip my brush on the wand itself. I've done that loads of times. So I feel like the packaging could have been a little bit better with those. And now entering lips, I really don't have like any lipsticks, lip glosses, anything that really bothers me. I really looked through everything and none of them really drive me crazy as far as the packaging goes. But I do just want to chat about the lip scrubs and lip masks from Colourpop because as much as I love these, I use them all the time. I just wish they always did it in stick form because it's so much easier. I hate dipping my fingers into products. I just hate it, especially having long nails. It's not the most fun thing, so I just love that it's just on a stick. I wish all of their lip masks and lip balms could just be in stick form. I know I'm asking for a lot here, but that's how I feel. And that is it for this video. I know this was so silly, but I had fun talking about these. Sometimes it's fun to be petty. I would love to hear your thoughts on which products in your makeup collection you really just don't like the packaging of. Whether it's just not functional, maybe you just think it's ugly, maybe it gets dirty easily. I would love to chat about it. And again, a huge thank you to Skillshare for partnering with me on today's video. And just a reminder to you that the first 1,000 of you to click the link in my description box or use my code battybean will receive a 1-month free trial to Skillshare's membership. If you made it to the end of this video, ooh, leave me some emojis that you just hate the look of, you know? Send me some ugly emojis. I feel like that's appropriate. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'm posting most days over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.